Hello guys and welcome to another profile tree video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the 10 must-have Chrome extensions for web developers. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So just a quick little introduction as to what Chrome extensions are all about. They're a small software program that users can install in the Google Chrome web browser, and it's purely just to enhance functionality. Now these extensions can modify and extend the features of Chrome, which makes it more powerful and tailored to the user-specific needs. Now, for web developers, it can be even more useful, especially if you're developing on a website. So we'll now take a look at some of the invaluable tools that can assist in various aspects of web development. So to get directed to this specific page, simply just search up on your browser Chrome Web Store and you should be brought to this specific link. Now, when navigating through, you'll just have your search bar there to search for whatever extensions you want. So starting off with our very first one, which is called Web Developer. Now, Web Developer is a comprehensive toolkit that offers a variety of features. It allows you to inspect and manipulate web page elements. That includes HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can even quickly view and edit the page's source code, disable JavaScript, and enable ruler overlays to measure page elements. You can also outline various page components, and it also provides options for testing responsive design by resizing your browser window to different screen sizes. So that could be the current one that we're on now, which is just the desktop. You can go on to the tablet and you can also go on mobile. So searching for the first one here, we'll go out and search up for web developer. Now this toolkit is the very first one here, and all you need to do is simply just add it to Chrome. Now you'll get a pop-up on screen. You can't see it on mine, but it'll just say add web developer. Just go ahead and click add extension. Once that's done, you'll get a little download on the top stating that it has been downloaded and has been installed. So that's now pinned to our top. Now you can unpin this or repin this. I'll just show you on screen now. Okay, so just so you guys can see this a little bit better, on the top right you'll have this little puzzle piece and it's under the name extensions, so just click on that. You'll see that I currently have LastPass and now I have web developer. I can choose to pin that, so I'll just drag my screen down just so you guys can see what I mean. So you'll have the little gear on the top, that is the web developer extension, and we'll go ahead and proceed to use this on a website. We'll just use it on our profile tree one. Now, depending if you're wanting to use this specific tool just to see if there's any issues with the site, so it's great for debugging, troubleshooting web pages. It just helps a web developer to quickly identify those issues, tweak code in real time, and test how a website responds to the different screen sizes and JavaScript states, all within their browser. So we'll take a look now. If I go ahead and click on the gear, I'll have a couple of different options here. See if I can just drag my screen down a little bit so you guys can see. So I have the cookies, I have CSS, forms, images, information, miscellaneous, outline, resize, tools, and options. Now, if I wanted to disable JavaScript, I can do so. So now that some of the functionality on JavaScript, whatever is JavaScript code on the website, has now been disabled, and I can reset those disabled features if I want. Currently, the pop-ups are disabled. With cookies, I can add cookies, I can disable cookies if I want to, and a couple of different options there. Now with CSS, this is where you see some major changes on the actual site itself if you do disable some of these styles. So if I want to disable all styles, you'll see that it's now brought itself to the bare bones of what the profile tree website does look like. So you can see that there's cookies there, and it's showing that how the areas look. You can see there's all the different styles that have been removed. We can view CSS on profile tree if we wanted to. So that's a little bit about it. We can go back onto the website here and we can try to, or just remove the disable all styles and it'll just bring it back. Now, if I want to purely just disable the link style sheets, I can do so. And you can see that video is still there. We have the logo. You can see that you can pretty much get into detail just to see if there's any issues or underlying issues within CSS. And that is what I think about the web developer tool. I would say that it's a very handy tool to have, as I said, if you want to identify any underlying issues. And if you do see any issues at all as well, you can go ahead and select Edit CSS, and this is where you can add some CSS in, depending on the specific area as well. So you need to make sure that you're typing within the correct element that's stated. Now you also have other functionalities there as well, like the images as stated. You've got miscellaneous as well, some forums. So if we do remove and disable the images, we'll see what's happened here. We can display alt attributes as well. We can make the images in full size. So slightly change the profile tree logo there, not by much. So we can make the images invisible as well. So depending what one is listed as images, of course, depends if it's PNG, SVG, then that's what it'll be clicking onto. So 21 images have been made full size. So we'll just remove these. But overall, yes, as I said, this would be a fantastic tool to use if you are a web developer looking to debug or troubleshoot some web pages. I would 100% recommend to use this specific Chrome extension. So our next Chrome extension is called Wapalizer. Now, the functionality of Wapalizer is a technology detection tool, and it identifies the stack of technologies used on a specific website. It's able to detect content management systems, web servers, JavaScript frameworks, analytic tools, and plenty more. Now, we'll find out here as to why it's useful for web developers and analysts to use Wapalizer. So we've already got it downloaded, but as usual, just click Add to Chrome extension. Then you'll get this verification up on screen. Now, it shows on screen on how it works. So go to any website, click on the icon for a list of identified technologies, click on a technology or category for more insights, and it even shows you some of the frequently asked questions. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and test it for our website, which is Profile Tree. Click on the extensions on the top right. Now you'll see the Wapalizer Chrome extension. I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the screen. So you'll see a blue, sort of like the button icon. But anyway, it says here that no technologies are detected. We can reload that just to check. We could check the more info here to see if anything else has come up. So it looks like no technologies are being detected. We'll go ahead and try it on another website. So we'll go directly to the Wapalizer website itself. You could see, I'm not too sure if you guys could see this. I'll just go ahead and bring the screen down a little bit, but you can see that there's 17 bits of technology that is detected. So that's all the stack technologies that it's on about. And we'll just bring this back up. So if I click on this, you can see that currently what's on Wapalizer is the analytics. It's using JavaScript frameworks, the languages Vue.js, Nux.js as well. For hosting, it's using the Cloudflare and Amazon CloudFront. Primary programming languages that it's using is Node.js or JavaScript as well, of course. Video players, it's detecting the Vimeo. We've got tag managers as well, which is the Google Tag Manager. Payment processors, which is Stripe. So that's similar to PayPal for those. That's just a payment gateway. It's got security, which is HSTS, and for those who would probably know the reCAPTCHA, and it's got a crisp live chat. Again, we've got the web framework, static site generators, miscellaneous as well. We've got JavaScript libraries, which is core.js. So our Amazon Web Services for PaaS and the UI framework. So 17, that's what it's detected within this website. I'll hop back on the actual website just to see if it has detected anything, and it has. So it's detected 18 bits of technology. Now this is a CMS, as mentioned before. It can detect content management systems. This was built on WordPress, as you could see. Now we could clearly see that it's using analytics as well. We've got Cloudflare, which is the hosting. We've got the databases, which is using MySQL. Blogs, which is WordPress. Tag managers there, which is Google Tag Manager. We've got SEO for Rank Math. And then again, security there is Cloudflare Bot Management, HSTS. Miscellaneous there, which is RSS, Open Graph, HTTP3. JavaScript libraries, WP Rocket for caching. So all the different programming languages and all the different technologies that it uses, WAP-Laser is able to detect. That's great as well, especially if you are taking on the development for a specific site. You want to know what sort of technologies they are using if it's not been specified by a client. Let's just say if you are working for a client as a web developer and they've not fully disclosed all the different technologies, then you can use WAP-Laser for it. Another example as well, we have Conley Cove. This is one of our internal brands for Profile Tree. Again, this has actually got 32, so quite a lot of different technologies that's packed for stack. So we'll select this. You can see, again, content management system, it's using CMS. For WordPress, we've got the different advertising on here. So you can see we've got advertisement on the bottom. We've got a video on the bottom right there. And so that's what's taken up majority of advertisement, you can see. As usual, it's blogs or WordPress. We've got analytics, but this one has ComScore and security, JavaScript frameworks, tag manager, and so on. So you pretty much get the gist of what this Chrome extension can do. You can also get more information on it, but based on that, you would have to look through the pricing plans in order to unlock some of the other information that you will be able to see, like Pro, Business, and Enterprise. So I'll leave that option to you guys. But overall, if you just want to study and see some of the basic areas for technology use, then this would be the best Chrome extension to use as well. So I want to briefly touch base on this specific tool, which is Vue.js DevTools. What exactly is the functionality of this? Vue.js DevTools is tailored for Vue.js, of course, for the developers. Now, it's an extension that integrates with Vue.js applications, which allows you to inspect Vue components, observe component data, and even time travel through state changes using the Vue.js DevTools panel. Now, why exactly is this a handy tool to use? Simply for the fact that it simplifies the debugging and development process for Vue.js applications. It offers insights into the structure of Vue components and helps developers understand how data flows within their apps. Now, as usual, along with any of the other ones, just select Add to Chrome and you will have this within the extensions. Just an overview on what it looks. So if you are on the web, specifically looking through Vue.js, this extension will appear and it will be there to help you debug and overall just help you with the development process for any Vue.js application. And again, as I said, just helps you understand how the data flows within their apps. So our next Chrome extension is Octotree. Now, functionality wise, Octotree enhances the GitHub browsing experience by providing a file tree view in a collapsible sidebar. So when you open a GitHub repository, it displays a file structure. Now that'll make it easy to navigate and access specific files and directories without leaving the actual page. Now I will go ahead, open it, and we'll add it to Chrome. We'll add the extension. So you'll get provided with a video if you do download the Chrome extension, just a brief overview on it, but we'll take a look as to what it can offer. So you do get files on your left side there, just so you don't need to visit different directories without leaving the page. So you can see here, if we open up the octo tree, we'll go ahead and pin that, and we'll select the octo tree, see what pops up. So basically just explaining what this specific tool does do. So if web developers, or if you're a web developer yourself who frequently works with code on GitHub, you could use Octotree to quickly locate and access code files within repositories. So depending on how many repositories you have, I've only made one here which is called test, but if I have multiple ones, it'll streamline code review, collaboration, and project management. So it's a all-rounder tool. You could use it, as I said, without leaving a directory or leaving a page just to access another one for a specific code and then coming back to that directory. You can just flick through each one and have it on your sidebar on the left side, just a collapsible sidebar on your left, and you'll be able to pull different code from different areas, like I said. So yeah, another very helpful tool for developers to use as a Chrome extension. So our next Chrome extension is called Momentum. Now, functionality wise, Momentum replaces the standard new tab page in Chrome with a personalized dashboard. Now, this includes features like a to-do list, inspirational quotes, a focus timer, weather information, and a background image. Now, for some web developers may pass on this. However, it is still a great Chrome extension to use, especially for the fact that you do have that to-do list. So if you need to state whatever you need to do, of course, if you don't have a task manager, then this would be the place to do it, especially if you're a freelance web developer. And if you need that little boost to see some inspirational quotes, then it's great as well. You also get that focus timer like we've discussed, and if you really want to, you also have some weather information. So if we select it, we get a little overview on what it looks. So you can personalize it, add your name to it, and if we go ahead and add this to Chrome extension, so we'll just go ahead and do so. We should get a confirmation that it has been downloaded. We'll see. So it's currently still downloading. So overall, the primary focus for having this is productivity. Of course, we all know as web developers, productivity is vital. So Momentum creates that serene and organized workspace within the browser. And as I said, it helps developers manage their tasks, mainly stay focused and maintain concentration during work. Now let's have a look. So we'll keep it. So this is where you can type in your name. So we'll just say that. And of course, this is where you type your email in. And I'll go ahead and fill this up now. Once you're all set, you can go ahead and select if you want to go for a tour or just skip the tour. So currently we'll just say skip the tour. So it shows the location, which is great, shows the time. And then what we have here is main focus. So we'll check the links as well. You can see that we can go straight to a Chrome tab. So overall, it's just there as your little task manager, and it's pretty handy to have if you're, say, a web developer who's freelancing, doesn't have a task manager, and just wants to have, or maybe just you want to have a area where you can stay motivated, keep concentration. That would be the Chrome extension to use. So our next Chrome extension is Lighthouse. Now, for those who don't know, Lighthouse is a built-in Chrome extension that performs audits on web pages. It assesses web pages for performance, accessibility, SEO, which is search engine optimization, and its best practices. Now, primarily, it gives you a detailed report with scores and actionable recommendations. Now, we'll talk more on why exactly this is useful. So Lighthouse is crucial just for aiming to optimize their websites. So just to see if it's performing well for SEO, if it's performing well for mobile SEO. There's a lot of different areas to see. Overall, it provides a holistic view of a website's health, offers specific suggestions for improving its performance, accessibility, and SEO ranking. Now, you can decide to add it to Chrome if you want, so you could just add the extension on. So as usual, it'll just say the extension's been added to Chrome. Or if you select on a specific website, right-click, select the inspect tool, you'll see that you'll also have Lighthouse on here. So Lighthouse is already built in on the inspect tool, so you don't really need to download this specific Chrome extension, but it is still handy to have as a Chrome extension anyway. It will just act the same, so if you just click on this, you'll just see that the Chrome extension for Lighthouse just appears. You can just generate a report that'll just be more specific. Well, it'll just give you a specific overview on how the website is going. So it might just take a couple of minutes. So I'll go ahead and skip ahead. So once that has loaded, you can see the performance is sitting at an 86. Now this can directly be affected because of the Google Chrome extensions that we actually have. Now you have accessibility, you've got your best practices, SEO, PWA. So we're currently at 100 for best practices. SEO is currently at 100 as well as our accessibility being at 95. Performance can all direct again to the Chrome extensions or the performance of your device, as well as it performing online. It gives you an overview of its metrics as well. It even gives you a tree map on what parts have loaded in. So you can see that the Google Tag Manager has loaded in first, and then we've got cookies coming in as well. Now it shows you each of it in detail on how much bytes it uses, the unused bytes as well for the coverage. And if we scroll down a little bit as well, we could see a diagnostic. So it gives you suggestions. So eliminate render blocking resources. So potential savings of 1020 ms. So there are a number of WordPress plugins that can help you incline critical assets. So offering advice on that. So this is currently the one that's causing this render blocking. Now we can avoid an excessive DOM size. So overall, it just gives you an overview on what you can do to improve the website. But overall, 86 is pretty good for what it is. Again, we've got an overview on accessibility. So links rely on color or links rely on color to be distinguishable. So this is where it's picturing where there is a slight issue by the looks of things. And then heading elements as well. So this is a part where it's could potentially be an issue, but it doesn't seem to be any issue there by the looks of things. And we could see some of the past audits as well, and some of the areas that's not applicable. But yeah, overall, a great tool to use. As I said, why exactly is it useful? Lighthouse is crucial for web developers that's aiming to optimize their website. Again, it's just having an overview of the website's health, seeing how it's doing, how many clicks it's receiving as well, just offering specific suggestions for improving its performance, accessibility, and SEO ranking. So this I will say is one for the books for any web developer to use. So our next Chrome extension is the JSON Viewer. Functionality-wise, JSON Viewer is a tool for formatting and displaying JSON data in more human-readable format. And for those who don't know the abbreviation towards JSON, it stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So basically what it does is it color codes and indents JSON documents to make them easier to read and navigate. So why exactly is this a useful Chrome extension to use? Web developers often work with JSON data when interacting with APIs. JSON Viewer makes it effortless to visualize and understand JSON responses, and this means that it'll enhance productivity during API development and testing. Now, let's take a closer look at the Chrome extension itself. So it is one of the featured ones. You can see that there's at least 1 million users on this. Now, just a overview on this. If you are going to use this Chrome extension, you have to be developing this specific tool on, say, GitHub or a development tool online. Otherwise, it won't work. So you'll have that Chrome extension on the top just as usual, and then you'll be able to bring it down and it'll color code everything for you. Now, if I add that to Chrome, we'll just double check this. So now it says that it has now been added to Chrome. So we'll just use this as our example. So if you have anything coded, you can see you'll have bits highlighted in red, or you'll have bits highlighted in blue, yellow, depending on the color that you set it for, and it'll just make it easier to identify and indent some of the code that you've been working on. So this, I would say, is another development tool that I would recommend, especially if you are using Chrome extensions. Our next Chrome extension is called ColorZilla. Now, primarily this is a color picker tool, and it allows you to select any color on a web page using an eyedropper tool to obtain the corresponding color. It'll provide it in a hex code, so that's when you can start using that for code on your website. So depending if you just want to get the specific color code, then you can do so, and it comes in different various formats. You can have it as well as the hex. It could be RGB and HSL, and it also lets you create and save color palettes. Why, you may ask, this is important? So it's useful for web developers and designers, so specifically UI and UX designers, to use ColorZilla. So if you want to pick a precise color matching that is matching and that is consistent, then this will ensure that the colors used in their web projects are accurate to conform to a desired color scheme. We'll go ahead and download this and we'll check it out. So we'll go ahead and add that to the Chrome, and I'll go ahead and add that to the Chrome extension. Now it just takes a little minute, so you'll get this pop-up saying that it has been installed. Once it has been done, you see that you'll get the ColorZilla icon, so it'll direct you on how to use it. So once that's downloaded, we're gonna now sample it and test it out on a website. So again, just using profile tree, we're gonna go ahead and use the color picker or ColorZilla, and we're gonna go ahead and pick a color that's specific. So any color at all. So we'll see this one, and you can see that the color picked out is 33BC77. So we'll just double check to see. We'll go ahead and select a color again, and we'll click on it, and 33BC77. So that is correct. And then if I say I wanted to pick another color, let's just say I wanted to pick whatever the background is. Of course, it's not black. It's a specific dark color. That's 1E2 or 1EC228. But you can see that it picks a specific color. You can see that the page color is active. You even have it on top as well. So you see on the top of the page, it's currently saying 1E2C38, and if I move it directly to the green, 33BC77, of course white's going to show 5Fs or 6Fs, and then let's see if we can find another color here. That red is D12, D29, so it's great, especially for taking notes on what the actual color should be. Then you can do so. You also get a couple of different options there. You can see the palette browser as well, and you can also see a CSS gradient generator on here. So depending on what gradient you want, you choose it through the generator here. But it is packed full of different options there in terms of ColorZilla. Again, it is very useful for web developers and designers, specifically UI and UX designers, graphic designers in general, but of course web developers as well, especially if you are building a website and you need to know the hex code, you can do so using ColorZilla. So yes, that would be one for the books to use as a Chrome extension. So our next Chrome extension is Grammarly. Now, most of you may know what Grammarly is. Functionality-wise, what Grammarly is all about is a writing assistant that checks for spelling, your grammar, punctuation, and style. Now, it offers real-time suggestions and corrections while typing, and it can also check code and documentation for errors. Now, it's also integrated with AI, so like with the likes of ChatGPT. I'm sure you guys all know about ChatGPT, how useful that tool can be. Overall, why would you use Grammarly? So to maintain that clean, consistent, and concise code, or if you can do better, then of course Grammarly would give you your suggestions. As well as that, it's essential for just a clean documentation. It's essential for clarity and professionalism. So that's what you want, especially if you're dealing with clients and maybe you want to explain a particular code or documentation file. You want to make sure that everything is clean, professional. Overall, Grammarly helps web developers produce well-structured, readable code and documentation by catching mistakes and offering suggestions. So, number one, Grammarly. You would use that, especially if you have any spelling mistakes. We'll do a example on it, so we'll go ahead and add that to Chrome, add that extension. So it'll just give you confirmation whether it's been uploaded. You'll see at the top there that it's been done, and that'll just bring you to a new page, just stating the fact that, okay, you can sign up. So I actually have a sign up, or I've already signed up to this, so I'll go ahead and log in. So once logged in, you can see that it'll just give you this basic area here. You don't necessarily need to log in, but it's nice to have an account anyway. And you can pay for premium if you so wish, especially if you use Grammarly quite often. But anyway, if you were to say you were on here, and then you were looking at code, and you made a spelling error, so say that I had function with an S, of course that's not an element or a variable, so it would give you an autocorrect and just let you know that, oh, you've spelled function wrong, it's meant to be so and so, or return, or if you're missing a letter, it'll just notify you. It's great, especially just for cancelling out human mistakes or human errors, so that's what I would recommend to use, especially if you're doing those long hours in web development for coding. So last but not least, we have a Chrome extension here called LastPass. Now LastPass is a free password manager to use online, and you can install that through the Chrome extension, of course. Now functionality wise, what LastPass is meant to do is you're able to keep track of all the passwords you have. So say that you have a password for GitHub, you have a password for Wix, Shopify, WordPress, just a list of different passwords, and there's different passwords for each one, of course. That's all for security measures. What LastPass does is it gathers all the different username and passwords into one area, which is the vault, and all you would need is a master password to supposedly just remember all the passwords. So I currently have this added. I actually use this myself. This is a great tool to use, especially for a web developer. If you're jumping on different development tools, then this would be an ideal Chrome extension to use. Now, a lot of people, I would say, do use this. You can see that there's at least 10 million users. Just going through it, you can see that this is how LastPass would look. That's just an example of Facebook. So it gathers up different accounts. So just say you have, there's Cedric, there's one that's Hotmail there, and there's one that's cedric.daniels@gmail.com. So it stores different passwords together, makes a recommendation, it knows what platform you'll be on, and of course all you need to do is click on it and you'll be able to access it. Now, it is currently located on my extension, you can see here. So this is what the vault looks like. So you've got the vault, you've got a generator, and you've got account. So I'll go ahead and open up the vault. So I currently have this on the notes section. Of course, I've got all my passwords there and my usernames to log into different areas. So here we have on the left side, which is our navigating area, we've got all items, sharing center, passwords, notes, addresses, payment cards, bank accounts, security dashboard, and so on. Primarily, the main focus for LastPass, the only area that you'll be looking at is all items and sharing, and passwords especially. Sharing center, what that is if you want to pass a username and password safely through the net, especially if you're working from home, you're working remotely, you want to share this sensitive information, but you don't want anyone else seeing it. And of course, you could use the likes of Messenger or WhatsApp or Teamwork Chat or whatever sort of platform you're going to be using it on, but you also have that risk of data leak. So this would be the best way to do it. So of course, search up the email, send up the password and the username that you want to share with, and then share that to a specific person. And to view all the different passwords and the different usernames, all you would need to do is click on all items and you'll have access to all the passwords and the usernames. Simply go ahead and open up a website. If you have a account for it and you've got the username and password shared through LastPass, then it'll automatically appear through there and you can go ahead and log in with ease. So this, I would say, would be an ideal and essential Chrome extension tool to use if you are a web developer.